So what I did today, instead of just having one guest on, I went out to 7 experts to get 7 unique tips to share with you. And these are from the people that deal with cyber criminals every day, that are protecting yours and my information at top governments and companies, and just really helping keep us safe. So these are from the experts who have seen it all and fight cybercrime every day. So I'm going to give you 7. Are you ready? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Smarter Online Safety Podcast. I'm your host, Jocelyn King, and it is a pleasure to be with you today. This is our May Day special, and I don't just mean Mayday, Mayday as in help, even though Smarter Online Safety, the acronym is SOS, but May 1st of this year is World Password Day. And World Password Day is a reminder to everyone that it's time to practice good password hygiene, good best practices, so you can protect yourself, your money, your assets, your identity, and your loved ones from cyber criminals who are working 24/7 to try to get your money, your identity, anything they can of value. So these are the top 7 best practices for protecting your passwords. So what I did today, instead of just having one guest on, I went out to 7 experts to get 7 unique tips to share with you. And these are from the people that deal with cyber criminals every day, that are protecting yours and my information at top governments and companies, and just really helping keep us safe. So these are from the experts who have seen it all and fight cybercrime every day. So I'm going to give you 7. Are you ready? So here we go. Number 1, use long passphrases. You want to opt for passwords that are at least 12 to 16 characters long. Longer passwords are much harder to crack. Consider using combinations of unrelated words to create a memorable phrase, such as horse, purple, hat, run, bay, 75, something like that. Come up with something that doesn't make sense to anybody, but that would be memorable. Not even that you have to remember it, because you can put it in a password manager, which is coming up, but so that it's not a simple phrase that is easily guessed. So use long passphrases. Tip number 2, avoid common numbers, words, and personal information. So often, cyber criminals are really successful because they have all these algorithms that put together thousands of combinations. And so they already have gotten information from your social media. And so things like your name, your birthday are easily guessable information. For instance, even those security questions that ask you, what's your favorite, what was your favorite place to go when you were a child, and your social media page is covered with all things Disney, and you when you were a kid at Disney. That's pretty guessable. You probably like Disneyland or Disney World. So those are the types of things that are giving away clues. So you don't want to use them in your passwords. So make it very hard for them to guess things based on anything that you've ever put out on social media or what you do for a living. You really also don't want to use the numbers and stuff. Like the most common passwords used that these experts are still seeing is, are you ready? 111111, password, password 123, 123456. I could keep going, but you get the picture. Everything that has ever been in a Saturday Night Live skit or somewhere else as a joke or a movie of what you shouldn't use as a password, you should not be using. Okay, so tip number 3, never, and I mean never, capital N, capital E, capital V, capital E, capital R, never reuse passwords across multiple accounts, especially your financial accounts like your bank account and credit union, savings, retirement, and your social media. If you are somebody who uses the same password for multiple sites, you're still putting yourself at risk of other ways they can get into your data, but at least use them for the things like newsletters and free coupons and loyalty clubs. do not use them. If you do nothing else, just make sure that your financial accounts and your social media each have a unique password. So never reuse passwords across multiple accounts, or do so knowing that it's not if, but when you're going to be hacked. Number 4, utilize a password manager. I get to speak with so many people in cybersecurity, and I found that the experts themselves really lean towards and prefer 1Password. That's number 1, numeral 1, password, all one word. It's an app and a website. There are free versions. You can sign up for, I think it's $35 to $38 a year. And you can put all your passwords in there, but it generates unique passwords for you, complex combinations of words and numbers and characters, or it can just do all gibberish, like ampersand 8, 7, P, 9, L, you get the point. It'll create either for you. And it generates it in a second. It saves your email or your login ID and your password, and you can put the link in it. So if you hit open and fill, it will open and fill it for you. So utilizing a password manager is really important. Some people also ask, well, I use Google Password Manager, or I'm on Apple devices, I use an iCloud keychain. Isn't that the same thing? Yes and no. It is better than, certainly never keep your passwords in a note or a document file and things, because those can be hacked. Do not have a Google Drive with a notes document on it that has passwords in it. Never ever do that. Do not put Post-its on your computer with passwords on it, and where people can find it. So Google Password and iCloud Keychain and things like that are much better than those horrible practices. But they offer end-to-end encryption, which means they do protection from one end to the other, but there's not a lot of transparency about the security protocols on Google Password Manager, and it doesn't provide the same detailed information about its encryption standards that 1Password does. iCloud Keychain utilizes really strong encryption, and it integrates seamlessly, with all of your Apple products. However, it doesn't offer a zero-knowledge architecture like 1Password, which basically means that Apple could technically, or people at Apple have the ability to be able to get access to your data. It is accessible. Whereas 1Password, in fact, if you lock yourself out, they can't even help you. So you just have to remember your 1Password. You get an encryption key that you can print out and literally put in a physical safe or put someplace. So should you need to recover your account, you get in, but they have zero visibility into your passwords, and that's one of the reasons it's so secure. So 1Password is much more secure than Google Password or iCloud keychains, but those are much safer than nothing. So please do something. The other thing you want to do, number 5, is enable two-factor authentication. It's called 2FA, TFA, or MFA, multi-factor authentication. Just means you're being authenticated as being you more than once. And so instead of just logging in saying, oh, you have a password, you must be you, it says, okay, you're logging in, so it may be you, and I'm going to send a number to your phone or your email on your computer so that I'm double checking that it most probably is you. And multi-factor, or where you're using things like facial recognition and things like that, say, yes, it is you. So far, that hasn't been able to be really hacked yet. So always turn two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication on as a deeper add-on to your passwords to ensure that your passwords getting you into your accounts are just letting you in and nobody else. Then tip number 6, consider using passkeys and authenticator apps. You'll sometimes see these. Do you want to create a passkey when you're logging in to a Google account or logging into certain accounts? They'll say you can create a passkey. Those have been emerging as a secure alternative to traditional passwords because they use your biometric data or a device-based authentication, a physical key. So those are very good to use. And I can't go into all the detail here without showing you some things. So if you want to learn more, you can come to our website, smarteronlinesafety.com, and sign up, and we will be putting out, videos showing how to do that. But basically, you could use passkeys, and that would be very helpful. And number 7, this is our final tip, but these are, if you implement all of these, you are going to be so much safer than you've been. Number 7 is check for password breaches. So there's a wonderful tool called the website haveibeenpwned.com. The word have, I, been, B-E-E-N, pond, and pond is spelled Pwned.com. And when you go there, you're going to see a little box that has you put your email in. And I was sitting with some participants in our online trainings the other day, and everybody typed it in, and one person came back with 22 breaches that had used that email. And that means that email and that password were compromised. So those, not only were those 22 accounts bound, but that also meant that once they have that password and that email, your Yahoo or your Gmail or whatever, and that password, they can then do a spray and pray, hoping that you've used it in more places. They will try to get into multiple accounts. Maybe they can't, maybe you think, oh, it doesn't matter. It's just a newsletter, it's just a coupon or something like that. But the thing is, your password is also what you often have, that you often use to reset things like your bank account password and things. So once there's there's a known email and a password, it's that much easier to hack into more important accounts using that as your backup or your password reset. There have been scores of people who have been compromised, not because somebody got a hold of their password, but they were logged into the bank account and they said forgot password, put in the password that was from the breach, and it reset it, and they had hacked their password account. And so while you're at work or at the gym, somebody could be, resetting your password, and in your email inbox, getting it, resetting it, and draining your account. That has happened to more people than I can count. So those are the reasons that you really want to check for password breaches. And then as soon as you see you're on it, you want to make sure that you change that password immediately. And that's the other reason for putting the two-factor authentication on is, people can reset passwords to your financial accounts and things like that. So even if those haven't been in a breach, it's really important that you're making sure that nobody can get into your bank account without you're getting either a text or a phone call to see if it's really you. And then if you ever get one of those, that means they've got the correct password for your account and are getting into your account, and you need to hang up and call your financial institution right away and tell them what's happening. And of course, then change your password. So that's why you want to use two-factor authentication. That's why you want to check for password breaches. That's why you want to use passkeys or authenticator apps like Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator, which help ensure that it's you. You want to enable two-factor authentication. You want to utilize a password manager like 1Password, or you can use, Google and and Apple keychains and stuff. But if you really want to be secure, use what the pros use, which is 1Password. And I'm not affiliated. I'm just a user and know of many other users. And never reuse passwords across multiple accounts, especially financial accounts. Avoid common numbers, words, and personal information in your passwords, and use long passphrases, things that are at least 12 to 16 characters long. If you do those, and in honor of World Password Day, you are going to be 2, 10, 20, or 100 times safer than you are today, depending on where you are. And if you want to know how safe you really are, we have a free online assessment for you. If you go to smarteronlinesafety.com, we've just introduced a very simple, short, it's going to take you under 5 minutes, little quiz that you can take for a self-check and see how safe are you really. And it'll give you some prescriptive action steps to take to make yourself safer today. So that's our gift to you. Thank you for being a listener. Thank you for being a supporter. If you found this helpful, please like and share it with anybody that you think can benefit from getting smarter and safer online. So happy World Password Day. And until next time, stay safe out there.